Oh! Twin tote.
Oh! 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 Oh my God! Oh!
What's up, gamers? Skippy Africanus here, and today we're going to be going over the Fjx Imperium from Modern Warfare 2, or as it's known in real life, the Fjx M200 Intervention. Now, this rifle is quite the enigma. On the one hand, everyone in existence has most certainly seen this rifle. As well, I mean, it was made quite popular by an older Call of Duty title, and supposedly it's been present in plenty of other media. I know for certain that it was in Battlefield 4, which is where I specifically mostly used it. As well, when the OG MW2 was out, I was simply too poor and was still on that PS2 grind, so I didn't really get to use this thing as much back in the day. Though that being said, even though I wouldn't own Modern Warfare 2 till much later, I still most certainly heard about this thing, and saw plenty of gameplay footage of it. Now, all that being said though, despite this rifle being very well known about, it really isn't that well known about when it comes to anything other than the look and name. So what exactly is the Fjx M200 Intervention? Why does it exist? How does it work? And most importantly, at least for this specific video, does or has this gun ever seen any type of military service? Well, boys and girls, grab your Mountain Dew and Doritos and let's get into it. The Intervention is a bolt-action precision rifle designed for very long-distance precision shooting. And by very long distance, I'm meaning 2,500 yards as the max, though people have supposedly made shots out past that at around the 3,000 to 4,000 yard mark. Now, aside from really cool looks, the rifle has a lot of stuff that is fairly standard to most all precision rifles. Things like, you know, a free flow barrel and a bipod that attaches to that handguard, a rear monopod to allow for even greater stability while shooting, various little things like levels and such to ensure your gun is, well, level, as even being slightly off at the previously mentioned distances can be devastating for a shot. Hell, if anything, really, the Intervention is no more special than a lot of other precision rifles as mentioned. However, there is one thing that does make it a little more special, and that is its caliber selection. Not the 408 Passy as what's seen in-game, but the 408 Fjx. This cartridge was designed to be an intermediate between the 338 Lapua Magnum and 50 BMG, as though 338 Lapua is a great precision round, if you want to go bigger, your only real option was something like a 50 BMG, which can kinda work, but it is certainly lacking in certain departments when it comes to precision shooting. Now, it should be noted that there also exists another chambering for this rifle called the 375 Fjx, but we're gonna end off talking about the 408, as that's technically the chambering in-game. Now, as mentioned, this rifle has a lot of stuff that you've seen on most other precision rifles, and when it comes down to how the rifle itself works, it's really not doing anything too fancy. Essentially, the gun is locked via these two locking lugs. To unlock, of course, you know, after you fired off a round or whatnot, you have to lift up the bolt that will rotate those two lugs until they are clear from the locking recesses and can move rearward as the bolt is pulled back. Do note that as you are lifting the bolt upward, it is also cocking the striker. Now, as the bolt is pulled rearward, the casing is of course ejected, and coming forward, it picks up a new cartridge from the magazine. Then, as the bolt handle is turned down, those two locking lugs move to their respective recesses, and this sear is made to hold the striker. The gun is now ready to fire the next shot, which is done, of course, by simply pulling the trigger, which drops this sear block, causing the striker to go forward under spring tension. So as we can see here, nothing too fancy going on with how the rifle itself actually works, and at the end of the day, as mentioned, the only really special thing about this rifle, aside from its really cool looks, of course, is the caliber. When it comes to precision rifles, there's plenty of other options that sport the same features, except, well, maybe that carry handle, which, yeah, that's of course the purpose. These things weigh like 29 pounds, so it's not a bad transportation idea in the slightest. Actually, that's something fun to think about. I don't know if you guys quick scope with these a lot in these games, or I mean, even if you just think back on the old Modern Warfare 2 when people used to use this as the quick scoping gun, you're running around with a 29-pound rifle pulling stuff like that off. Well, I mean, at least the real-life version, of course. I just thought that was neat. But anyways, all that being said, that leaves us to our last, and in my opinion, given how popular this gun is in games and movies and whatnot, most important question. Do these things actually see, or have they ever actually seen any type of military service? Which the answer to that question is a surprising yes. Now, it isn't like featuring crazy widespread use, which shouldn't be surprising seeing these guns cost around $12,000, but they do see limited use with a very tiny handful of countries. Which I'll admit surprised me that even a single country used them, not because they're bad rifles, of course, mainly because, again, they're like $12,000, but I mean, I guess it isn't nearly as crazy as the cost of the next gun we're going to be going over because, well, that thing certainly shoots this gun out of the park when it comes to cost. But anyways, I think that is going to do it for this short little video on the Fjx Imperium from Modern Warfare 2, or as it's known in real life, the Fjx M200 Intervention. I hope you all enjoyed the video as much as I personally enjoyed making it, and I will see y'all in the next Guns of Modern Warfare 2 in real life video.